and sincere smile in making your personality appealing to others or its effect on yourself. Try smiling the next time you're angry. This simple action is calming, and it's a reminder of the positive forces you want in your mental attitude. A smiling face defeats the cruelest of antagonists, for it is difficult to argue with someone who smiles while speaking. Practicing smiling in front of a mirror, preferably while working on voice control. The two aspects are related, both in the way others will perceive you and in their effect on your own actions. Does that sound better? That's working on my smile and my tone of voice. So, facial expression. How does your face look? That is going to be key, right? When I walked into that owner, I was warm, I was sincere, my face was inviting. I hope it was anyway. But facial expression is another facet of an attractive personality that goes together with your tone of voice and your smile. You can tell a great deal about what is going on in people's minds by the expressions on their faces. Each of us makes judgments on this basis all the time. Now, you can tell a lot by what's going on in their mind. Now, I was looking warm and friendly and smiling, but I was scared that that guy was going to cancel. But I was looking at him with a smile, and I was looking at him with warmth, and he felt my warmth. So even though I had some fear there, people can generally tell what's going on by the expression on your face, because most people don't control what's on their face. Each of us makes judgments on that basis all the time. And master salespeople are particularly good judges. The more you learn to be aware of and in control of your facial expressions, the better you will be able to interpret the expressions of others. And since you'll already be in front of the mirror to practice your tone of voice and smile, you'll have the perfect opportunity to develop this aspect as well. So yeah, you'll watch out for facial expression. I mean, I think people think that they're happy sometimes, and their facial expression will tell a whole different story. Particularly as I get older, you know, my face has folded in a certain way, and maybe I've got this little scowl on my face, you know, when I'm reading or something. And I have to be cognizant that my face is bright, and I practice it. Even when I practice it, particularly when I go through the drive-thru, I'll smile and I'll say thank you very much, and I'll get my smile and I'll turn my, because I get impatient waiting in the drive-thru, right? And so I start feeling myself getting anxious and impatient. So I'll turn it into a smile and a friendly interaction between me and the drive-thru lady. So now tolerance is the disposition to be patient and fair toward those whose opinions, practices, and beliefs differ from yours. Holding your mind open to new ideas and new information is not simply a way to make yourself more pleasing to be around, though it is closely related to tact as a social skill. Tolerance makes you better able to identify and seize advantages. You may not make every new idea you encounter your own, but you will examine it and try to understand it. Intolerance brings a host of disadvantages. 1, it makes enemies of those who would like to be friends. 2, it stops the growth of the mind by limiting the search for knowledge. 3, it discourages imagination. 4, it prohibits self-discipline. 5, it prevents accuracy in thinking and reasoning. Now, the more intolerant you are, the more you close yourself off to diversity of the world and the power of the spiritual side of the mind, which can flourish only when it is ready to accept new ideas. And that's true. I mean, the more intolerant we are, we're certainly don't have an open mind, and automatically our minds have turned negative. So we've closed ourselves off to the spiritual side of the mind, which can only flourish when it's open and ready to receive new ideas. Now, frankness of manner and speech. Everyone resents people who use such subterfuge instead of dealing frankly with associates. People who are so slippery that they cannot be pinned down to direct, clear-cut statements cannot be depended upon. So you want to be clear in your statements. That is part of an attractive personality. Try not to be slippery. The problem with these people is that they lie outright. but that they do what amounts to the same. I'm sorry. The problem with these people is not that they lie outright, right, but that they do what amounts to the same thing. They deliberately withhold facts from those who have a right to know them. Now, this is base dishonesty, which undermines the soundest characters. Truly sound characters have the courage to speak and deal directly with people, and they follow this habit consistently, even though it may at times be to their disadvantage. Now, if you read about some of the earlier aspects and assume that they could be used to engage in deceitful schemes, you are vastly mistaken. Without true frankness, none of your other skills will be successful. If you have to resort to trickery, what kind of confidence do you have in your definite major purpose, and what kind of attitude are you approaching with it? That's good point. A keen sense of humor. A well-developed keen sense of humor aids you in becoming flexible and adaptable to the varying circumstances of life. It allows you to relax and remain human in the midst of pressure instead of becoming cool and distant or angry and bitter. It keeps you from taking life too seriously. Also, if you have a keen sense of humor, you're always kind of looking for the joke, so your mind is always positive. People who cannot laugh when laughter is exactly what is called for are denying themselves a wonderful mental tonic. If you discover some flaw in your product or plan, recognizing the comedy of the situation allows you to back up and start again. Otherwise, you'll be trapped in your frustrations. Guys, use the positive mental attitude. It so works. And a sense of humor makes the simple act of smiling so much easier and does wonders for your positive mental